Yo, sorry about the slow start. I just had to figure a couple of things out. So I'm back today with it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today because I've got some other things to do, but hopefully we will get something done today. So I think this is pretty much the state we left it at yesterday. So we now have the grass shader working with the terraformable terrain, except for we don't have the wind texture in the grass, and like the performance isn't that great, but we have a few ways to get the performance up. So that is okay. And yeah, we have the what the fuck to call it, popping as well. So the closer we get, the more grass straws we render, and you can see them pop inwards, or pop in rather. So yeah, that's still a problem, but like all in all, looks better than I anticipated. Even at pretty rough angles. So I'm thinking it's going to be a shorter, a little bit more less, a little more chill stream today. So let's start with something easy. Let's communicate the wind texture to the grass shader through the terrain class. So we have an environment controller, which is pretty much only this right now. We have a reference to the terrain, and we have a reference to a component called weather, which currently is just a Perlin noise texture generator. So I guess it's this one we want to get, and we're gonna do it like this. Let's do it like this, and then we do terrain. I don't know how to make this communication in the best way. Honestly, yeah, I have to think about how I want to handle the weather textures. So the good thing here is that this, having these properties here, not very pretty, but as I said yesterday, grass color texture generator, we're probably gonna convert. So this is a gradient. We're probably gonna do the gradient manually and set it by data, I think. Good morning, Geralt. Happy Friday indeed. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday so far. And grass proportion texture generator, as I said yesterday as well, this one will be based on data. Actually, is that what I want to start implementing today? Oh, so many things to choose from. Maybe we're gonna do... like, it would be beautiful to be able to... pass this one off to the data generation, or like read it from the data instead. Yeah, maybe we should do that. So that would mean but then I have to make a choice here. Okay, it's a little bit early. Let's get weather working in a rough way, and then we're gonna take a look at this one. We're gonna see if we can reduce the size of this. I want to learn more about this as well, like how does the mesh work, how does it look if we like limit the position here. So having it's actually a float 32. Do we actually have three? Yeah, we do. Like representing position with a float 32 times 3, it's a bit much. Interesting stuff. But let's see here. So we're gonna do terrain patch. In terrain patch we already have a function called set material texture, so we're gonna rely on that one. And terrain base, for now, I wonder, either we do public void set public void set weather texture, or set weather reference might be better. So we're probably not going to rely only on a texture later on. So we can do set weather reference, and then we do for each terrain patch in terrain patches. Terrain patch dot set texture, set material texture, and yes, then we have the naming. Weather wind texture. Let's do it like this for now. Wind texture shade. I really need to get consistent with what I call these constant strings we have. But I think the most descriptive name is probably wind texture shader property name. So I think that is what I've used in most places, but in some places I think I skip the property here. So wind texture shader name, but wind texture shader property name is probably better. Yeah, the texture name. So then here we can do weather.wind shader property name and weather wind texture. What's up, Cypher? Happy Friday. Set material texture wind shader. Yeah, let's see if we can get the wind to work on the grass as well. Over the weekend, I'm probably also going to figure out how exactly I want to handle the material split for my terrain patch. Probably gonna try and figure out a nice way to split it up into submeshes, so we can have some geometry material and one texture only material. My TV broke. Oh, that sucks, being picked up for repair today. Still nice that it can be repaired. Like, did it break by, by some type of accident? Or did it just break? Just won't turn on. I'm sorry, that sucks. Hopefully the repair will be quick and easy. Yeah, I'm waiting for the moment my TV just won't turn on. It's hella old. Almost a thick TV, to be honest. One of those big ones, Okay, let's see if this works. Environment. Wind texture. I think that should be the correct name. Yeah, it got warranty, only got it in November. Oh, that sucks. Or try to be optimistic about things. So it's good that it broke before the warranty expired. Okay, we don't get any wind here. Let's figure out why. think this one should be correctly set up. Sad. So wind texture here. Let's double check if that's the correct word. Procedural grass light. Wind texture, yes. 6 years. 6 years warranty. That's pretty damn nice. And you're not even in the EU, right? And how's things going then? Where are we at? Just trying to get the last communication down to the procedural grass shader and the custom terrain, and then it's pretty open-ended where we will continue. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stream that much today. Only gonna do about 2 hours, I think. But hopefully we will manage to do some things, you know? Okay, I know why it didn't work. It's Friday, so don't hold me accountable to this. Environment controller, we need to set it as well. So terrain dot set weather reference weather. Like, I wonder in the future we're probably gonna need to do something similar to this, because when I think about weather, first of all, we're gonna have environment is gonna take care of the day and night cycle as well. So it's gonna have a day-night cycle class reference, and it's going to have a weather class reference. When it comes to the terrain, I'm not entirely sure that we need a reference to. Honestly, I wonder. I wonder what approach is best. Like, either we tell the terrain here is the weather reference, set it up correctly, or we pull the environment from terrain. I honestly don't know which one I prefer. Environment controller is a singleton, so we might as well pull it. Because later on we're going to, for instance, we're gonna have in weather, we're gonna have events. So if it starts raining, we want to trigger an event, and things listening to that event will change accordingly. For instance, make stuff more shiny if it's raining. So terrain, now we have set the weather reference, so now we should be able to see the wind. I would have hoped. generate true and set weather reference, weather, set material texture for each patch, wind texture shader property name. Let's use a reference to the string, and noise texture. If noise texture is null, instantiate generate. Yeah, should be okay. Unfortunately, I don't think we can check this in the editor. Can we? Let's do. I think we can do procedural grass light. Yeah, let's wait with these fancy keywords. So what do we have? Ooh, that is interesting. Wind texture doesn't look that good, honestly. But still, wind strength. Seems to be quite static. Or is it? Oh, it's moving in the preview. Extremely weird. Actually, it's moving a little bit. Okay, good to know. So let's do. Let's check which parameter it is. I think we can skip selection wire here. Okay, wind texture scale is. Ooh, okay. I get it. So, in the plane, when we developed this grass shader, the plane was quite big. And Shit, do we actually call... Okay, so when we read the wind texture, we actually do it by UV, would be my guess. I think we want to read it by world position, honestly. Make it independent of mesh size, because I guess we're gonna have to make it like this, or maybe even like this. Ah, that's too much. So I think we have a few things we want to fix. One being that the texture, yeah, it doesn't seem to generate correctly. That's one thing. And so we just have this back and forth wind, or do we? Yeah, it doesn't look that fun. Yeah, we can pretty much clearly see here that we pretty much just have a wave going in one direction. We can see it here as well on this one. Okay, I want to fix the generation of it first. I want to know why we're not getting a better generation. Value multiplies 0, 0. Let's see how we use it in the shader. Wind texture. Wind offset constants. Yeah, that's just to make the different channels go in different directions. Oh, could this be? Let's see. Weather, wind texture generator. Yeah, I think we create this one non-periodic, or actually as periodic, which means we get this function, and we need to do some things here. We need to UV scale and noise scale. We have changed a few things around here, so UV scale. If we take a look at this one and we set this one to 5 once again. Good morning, Harukanan, and happy Friday. Yes, okay, so the noise generation has changed quite a bit. UV noise scale, yeah, we changed this one, that is true. Do we get ground, edit script, on validation, set material in texture? Okay, so it gets changed instantly. So let's do, let's put it up for the test. I'm a little bit worried why this one doesn't work as it did as well. Good morning, Alf, and happy Friday. Coordinate bounds. Like, I'm not really seeing a... let's do the wind texture and see what kind of change we can get. So, yeah, this class has been changed quite a lot. Yeah, it's pretty nice grass, honestly. So I want to check this texture. If we do... we're gonna go... what if we do noise scale? Noise scale, we don't use this one for them. 10, 10, 10, 10. Do we get any difference in the weather texture? No, we don't. And that is probably because we have the correct naming here as well. Value multiplier 0, 0, 0. Yeah, we don't get a change. What is up? Pearly noise texture generator. Did I unfortunately break this one? Oh, I know why. In texture in material. Actually, we're gonna do this. Pearly noise texture generator. Do we have force texture generator? Yes. Generate texture. Beautiful. So we're gonna do ground. Yeah, let's exit this and start it again. Optimization is not bad. Yeah, it's still okay. We actually have quite a lot of additional things to do to optimize it, and also to make the optimization look nicer. So currently the grass shader features quite a lot of popping, and we can probably fix that. But let's see here. So on validate here, what we want to do first is we want to do grass color texture generator dot force text generate texture. Oh, we don't have that one in gradient, but okay, I don't care about that one for now. Proportion texture generator dot force texture generator, or force generate texture, and wind texture generator force generate texture. Yes. So let's see if we can find some nice wind properties for this one. First of all, yeah, okay, let's go value multiply 0, 0, 0. I'm a little bit worried that this one doesn't update, but that's okay. Let's go 1, 1, 1, 1, and 10, 10, actually 1, 1, 10. There we go. 10, 10. Okay, we have an issue where the UV scaling doesn't seem to work. Or, no, the periodic solution. Is that it? Okay, also want to check, yeah, let's not pause, let's just jump to scene. There we go. Okay, so UV scale was the culprit. Okay, so now we have varying grass as well. So we can change the properties of the grass. That's great. Although I'm a little bit... So sometimes we can see some weird thing going on with the wind. Wonder why. It's really beautiful with animations. Thank you, Alf. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's quite pretty. But this one right here, we could see it here. This artifact we had here, and I'm pretty sure definitely has to do with the seems like it's not periodic noise. So when we create it for this grass, we create it with this texture generator. Periodic is then yeah, I guess we create we should create it with this one, I think. Or I wonder how it works. I think it should be periodic in any way. I would just like to sit in this grass and watch the sunset. Same here. And hopefully it will work real good when we get a proper skybox in place as well. And day and night cycle. Okay, honestly, we do it with new, which should be this one then. But okay, so where do we actually create these in this case? That's weird to say the least. Maybe we don't. We changed it. We created channel coordinates here, of course. This one is a serialized field, so these gets instantiated, and I suppose we get this then. Oh, 14, damn, I've been watching your streams for so long and I didn't even ask what the game was about. I appreciate it. And I am Anno. I appreciate the follow as well, thank you. So our 14, it's pretty much... I'm trying to explain this with... I think the easiest way to explain it is with like references to other games, but it's basically Tamagotchi, but broader. So if you haven't played Viva Pinata or Sonic Chow Garden, it's pretty much you take care of a plot of land and you want to take care of that plot of land in such a way that creatures wants to come and live in that garden. And when they do, you need to take care of those as well. What's up, Cooler SK? Happy Friday, man. And indeed, Adventures in Endless Grassfield continues. Okay, so we should get periodic Perlin noise value here. The periodic doesn't really seem to be working, however. Yo, 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 what's up, Derek? And happy Friday. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be able to do a little bit of a shorter stream today, so didn't really have a clear goal when I started today, but it's more about getting the grass working properly with both weather texture and grass property texture and the modifiable terrain. So that is what we're gonna do, and we'll see where we go from there. Yusuf looks like good. Thank you, appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. So yeah, the wind texture seems to be working. We only get like the period. It's not periodic, which sucks. And I don't know why. We can see it here. But if I change these, yeah, it changes automatically. Do we have... like this, it actually looks periodic. I want to see procedural grass, wind texture value. Okay, so strength is... Wind properties, we set the tangent, we set the direction, and we set the strength. We set the direction based on x, y, z, and we set the strength multiplied by w. Yeah, and I remember this when we did the procedural graphs. Once again, I went a little bit crazy with the amount of data we use. Not entirely sure how this will be solved later down the road, but we're probably gonna skin this quite a lot. Yeah. So, does this mean yeah, and then we do does this mean that I need to now each of these should honestly be periodic, so we shouldn't have a problem with that. And what the fuck? I think we want to do that first of all. The concept of endless grass field might be serene, but it's also sinister in my head. I definitely agree with that one. It should be okay. I will still have this line going on here. It's weird, honestly. Yusuf, what is the song in your background? I get all my music during my streams from Chill Hop, and currently, right now, it's let's take a look. It's the song called Nomad by Avino, right at this moment. Yeah, it's like we get an edge in the texture at certain points, and I wonder if that feels to me to be something wrong with the periodic generation, honestly. But okay. Why is that? Get periodic Perlin noise value. I don't care about noise scale right now. P noise coordinates period. Yusuf, what are you thinking of adding to the game? Cute little enemy creatures or some kind of survival mechanisms? Right now I'm leaning towards mostly just cute, friendly creatures. So we're not gonna have any enemies, or the player doesn't have to fight creatures. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And then it's a question of what you define as enemy creatures. I'm probably gonna support like creatures eating other creatures. So for instance, like if one creature has a preference for another type of creature, it's a bit up to the player if he or she wants to, which one of those two creatures he or she wants to have, because you can't have both, because one will always want to eat the other one. But yeah, no combat. Coordinate bounds. Do we want to do something with this one here? Could this be the problem? It shouldn't be. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. And you too, Alf. You too. But let's see. So I'm thinking something is wrong with when we generate periodic Perlin noise. I don't think it is how we read it. But we're gonna or actually if let's say that we generate periodic Perlin noise for each channel. If they have a different scale, it should be still periodic, right? Although we actually do the same scale now, so that shouldn't be the problem. If we do different origins, that might be the problem, however. I wonder if it is. I still have the problem there. I can't think of anything right now, so I will keep watching. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna do some changes here. So first of all, when we, in the procedural grass shader, when we read this texture, so we read the wind texture UV, we base it on position world space. Interesting. That's great. And when we read the properties texture, not the color, but this one. Yeah, we read it based on position world space as well. So that's really great. Okay, so let's try this. Let's take let's disable this one. Enable, is it this one? Environment controller. No, it's not. It's this one. So let's take this one and we do wind texture. Let's go same origin, same value bound 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and same UV scale, and we're gonna go with 10 here. Hopefully that will make for some good weather effect on it. And then we have the grass proportion, and we want to do I don't remember. 10, 10, 10, 10. Let's go 1, 1. Derek.net, thank you so much once again for the donation. Appreciate it. Thanks for streaming so frequently. It makes the perfect content to watch whilst also working on my own project. Beautiful. Happy to help. And thank you once again. It means a lot. Oh, damn. Thank you, thank you. So, let's see if this makes it look a little bit better. And also, Derek, good luck with your own project. Hope you're having nice progress. Oh yeah, that's rough. Let's see. I have a procedural grass terrain material here. Do we not use this one? No, we don't. Let's use that one. And let's see. Like, honestly, like the making the grass work for the customizable terrain was pretty easy, honestly, or pretty straightforward. Okay, we still have some problems here. Now we have some weird visuals of it, I would say, but we have... I would say that the wind texture actually works pretty good. Right? But as for the... It's a little bit too thick as well. Informatique, is Unity good or not? Well, I definitely think it's good. Environment. Okay. There's gonna be a lot of tinkering with the grass, definitely, to make it look good, to make it be performance. But I think I'm performant, but I think I'm up for the task. So 4, is that too much? 3 might actually be what we want to look at. And yeah, I think what we fucked up is it's actually 3 enough? Maybe it is. Let's do terrain material. We only subdivide 3 times, and we do environment. This is the only thing I don't like right now, so let me explain. We have a proportions texture. We have width is red, height is green, and random bend is blue. Like, I need to always keep this pairing in mind. So I don't even remember here. I think width was red, height was green, and bend is blue. Yeah. Derek, thanks man, implementing Cascade shadow maps in GameMaker currently. I don't know if you ever used GameMaker, but it forces you to really learn 3D fundamentals and graphics programming if you want to do 3D. I think my introduction to game development was GameMaker. It has been around for quite a while, right? Or was it... Or am I might be mistaken. It might be RPG Maker. But yeah, okay. How do you enjoy Game Maker, by the way? Is it like a good tool? So I've never used Game Maker, but I have been working with like shadow maps a lot, so I can relate to the struggle. What's up, Cypher? New CEO is a bit of a swing and miss. I'm sorry to hear. And is the noise map tile too small? The noise map is 128 times 128. It's a bit small, but we should like stretch it using UVs, so it should be okay. Informatique, what about Godot and Unreal? I don't have that much experience with either of those. I've been experimenting with Unreal Engine a little bit. The learning curve was steep, to say the least. And when it comes to Godot, I started learning it a bit when Unity had its fit. When they fucked around. But I haven't played around with Godot enough to say anything about it, actually. Cypher, I used Game Maker way back when in high school on my first ever game. They recently updated, got a really good business model. Yeah, lately I've only heard good things about Game Maker. But I wonder, like, Game Maker. I just have to check this out. Game Maker, right? I want to see Wiki. Um, 1999. Because then we also have, did we have a RPG Maker? I think it actually was Game Maker I played around when I was very, like, earlier, when I was young. Oh, here you have it. Yeah, 128 times 128 is pretty small. We might make it bigger. And Game Maker, yeah, I think it's mostly 2D, but here we have 3D. So yeah, it's not intended for novice users. Derek, it's great for quick prototyping, but it's primarily a 2D engine, so any 3D work is pretty bare bones. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, next week we're not gonna rely on Perlin noise generator to get the grass visuals. We're actually going to, I think we're gonna implement some basic terrain painting, I think. Looks a little bit better, but still quite. We have these ugly patches here, and it's quite thin sometimes, the grass. Oh, yeah, okay. We want to be... We shouldn't go as small on height, and we should not support extremely thin grass. So once again, need to check here. We have width is R, so 0.8 maybe. Random height 0.3, and then random bend. There I think we can go 0 to 1. Yeah, it's gonna be nice to be able to like paint the grass proportions as well. So we're gonna paint, like, in this area we want short grass, in this one we want tall grass, and so on and so on. Actually, the changes doesn't seem to alter this one too much. And am I doing it wrong? Oops. Definitely want to change the default terraform tools as well. I think the grass looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't look as pretty as this one, right? Derek, some enemy wind particles would feel very Studio Ghibli in that scene. Oh yeah, we're gonna... that would be very nice. There's so many things I want to implement, but so little time, unfortunately. Okay, UV scale 10, 10, 10, 10. And what values do we have here? We actually have... Why are we getting such different results? This one looks good, I think. Is the material in question so different? Procedural grass stylized light material. Let's take a look. It should pretty much only be... We have subdivision here, that one should change. But other than that, it should only be the texture generation. So I want to take this one and copy this one and put it on this one. Wind texture, we want to put it on this one. Paste. Grass proportion texture. I wonder why we're getting such different results. Terrain base environment controller. And yeah, I definitely also want to try, or like actually I want to see if we go with higher wind texture. I want to see what kind of result we get. There we go, now it's more similar to the other one. But we also want to keep the textures small, you know. We have a little bit too much bend, I would say, on the wind. Like it's moving slow, but it bends a lot. But yeah, I think I like this. I think this looks quite good, honestly. And then again, I don't know how visible it is on stream, but we can do a lot of improvements on how the grass looks from far away. Right now it looks pretty bad, but we can add some more noise to this, make it look more like grass, because like if we take, what we want to do is, if we take, we look in this direction. So if we take this patch in the background and we change this one to be 3 maybe. Actually, this result surprised me quite a bit. If we look at this one, this is without grass geometry being generated for it. This is with grass geometry being rendered for it. We actually get more of a blur, right? Does it actually look better with... Is this actually it? Okay, that's weird. Cartoons TV, good morning and happy Friday. I would assume that we would get the other way around. Still, we can still make it look... I think I want more noise. I want more noise on grass far away. Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, let's see. Is it because... There we go. Oh yeah, we do something like that. Yeah, we definitely want more noise so we can see the difference here. And we want the wind to affect the noise. So this is how it would look if we rendered with as many grass straws as here, compared to here where we don't. So one task we want to do is we want to simulate these visuals over here, but we want to simulate it in a way without spawning additional grass straws, right? So that's definitely something we need to look into, and depending on how good we can do that, we can also optimize quite a bit around that. Definitely. And then again, this popping here. We actually have a algorithm for fixing this popping. We just had I had an incredibly hard time implementing the algorithm we had in mind. Something went wrong. When I feel ready for it, so one day when I'm gonna stream and I feel like unbeatable, then I'm gonna give it a second try to reduce the popping. Happy Friday is right, getting ready for stand-up on Monday today. Lots of coding to do. Good luck with the coding and eventually good luck on the stand-up. Derek, some more color variation would be nice, but that might be something you do when you add other ground types. Yeah, so let's see. The more color variation you have, I guess it depends on the color, the more realistic it looks, honestly. I can show you one example soon. What's up, my K? Nice Windows 95 background. Hell yeah. Actually, if you would have a little bit of a brighter green color on the grass, it would be almost a 1-for-1 Windows 95 background. So yeah, Derek.net, I need to actually sit down and figure out the grass variations. So that was actually I had a few viewers suggested it. So like having different type of grass. And this is the plan right now. So we're gonna have different kind of grass. And then I also want to be able to alter the different kind of grass based on season. So you make it more lush during spring, summer, you make it tired during autumn, and you basically make it non-existent or very dark gray and slumped down on winter. But yeah, let's take a look at the different color variations as well. So if we do environment and we do grass patch again. So previously I actually had, let's see here, we have one gradient here. I wonder which one it is. So is it this one? Okay, this is the newest one. I had this one previously. Now it looks like shit far from the camera. But like when we initially developed the grass shader, we had grass variation like this. And if you do, we have simplified the shading as well to make it more stylized. But like if you allow for more color variation and you allow for the color variation to be per grass blade, you get this, which is a bit more of a realistic type of grass, I would say. Let's add some wind to it as well. But yeah, there's multiple things we can do. And that's why, what do we have here? Some okay, that's the marker. But yeah, like the shader is done in such a way that we can actually, I think we can come up with a lot of variations without actually extending the actual shader code. But yeah, decisions. I think this is a very good like default look for now. So this is the one I think I'm gonna continue. Like we're gonna continue the development on the procedural grass shader using this setup, the Windows 95 setup. Yeah, the popping is unfortunate, and as we said yesterday, the popping is extremely apparent in this scenario, but here we can do it with growing grass straws. We can grow them out. I think this is a good, like it's a good foundation to build upon. Yellower grass in drier areas and green grass in more lush and watered areas. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Clumps with different color and length, perhaps. Yes. So like if we take a look at where do we have the character? We have him here. Yeah, let's change this one. So we actually have some small variation. It's not very apparent here, but if we would select this one and go and choose UV scale. Yeah, there we go. Which one was length now again? height is G. So let's try it with a different grass. This one, and then we change it back to this one. Yeah, like so here we have tried to do some, we can see that the grass is a little bit higher at certain areas. And this could definitely be actually RG altered quite a bit. But once again, like, this is what I think is the one cool thing. So right now we procedurally generate these textures using Perlin noise, which gives it this kind of look. But the idea is that this texture will be entirely driven by the player, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to implement next week. So the player will actually be able to paint in a certain area on the ground, like tall grass here, short grass here, and so on and so on. And I guess we could even go as maybe even how populated it should be. But then again, if that would be an option, then we will have to do something about the visuals of this. Like when it's sparse grass, we need to fix the ground color. Yeah, so many options. It would probably be a max density of this, and then we can have support this density. Yeah. But first of all, I want the player to be able to paint like how tall it should be in certain areas. So I guess we could go as tall as... I love the idea of having extremely tall grass. Combined with some sparse dirt patches, I think that would look really great. I agree. Like I've said it multiple times, like terraforming and like taking care of the environment or creating the environment how the player wants it to look is going to be a huge part of the game. So the more options the better, but like there exists a golden point. Like you don't want to have too many options. Okay. Okay, so now we have the wind texture and properties texture being communicated to the editable terrain in a good way, so that's nice. What would be the next step? Okay, honestly, let's see here. Right now we use terrain data container. Right now we use a texture 2D here with let's take a texture 2D data. Let's take a look. So we use texture format RGB 32, so that's 8 bits per channel, right? Texture format Unity. RGB A32, 8 bits per channel, correct. Color with alpha texture format, 8 bits per channel. So this is our data, our terrain data. So currently R is used for the height, and I think we're gonna keep it as RGB 32. I think I want 8 bits per channel. So now my question is, I would like to be able to pack, so our properties texture for the grass is currently a 4-channel RGB 32 as well. And that is too much. We only use RGB right now, so we use, what is it, 24 bits for this data. And that's 3 different values, or 4 actually, but we have a free channel here. I don't think we use the alpha for anything. So packing 3 values into 8 bits, so you could do it 332, but 3 bits is plenty, I would say. So how many representing, is it even floating point number with 3 bits? Floating point number and in binary. So like if we want to pack 3 values into 8 bits, we could go 3, 3, 2, but I don't even know what range. What range, like what values we would be able to display with that one. So, and I don't even know, like I have a design decision to make here. So right now we have 3 channels and we represent varying width, height and bend. And when it comes to the bend property of grass, why not go in the direction of calculating the bend constant using height and width? For instance, it feels natural that a grass that is tall has a higher bend constant, like it is more easily bend, and it also feels sort of natural that the thinner it is in the width, the more it bends. And in that case we could use the G data to pack only width and height proportions, and then we have 4 bits each. And we also want to generalize this because different, like let's continue with the assumption that we have 2 types of terrain materials, one that is texture only and one that is geometry. Then we want to use, so for the texture only we might want to pack different data into that one. It would be nice to be able to experiment. So if we pack, let's see here, pack 2 floats into 8 bits. Like, let's make it Unity specific as well. 3 floats to 1 float. System bit converter. For exponent 3 mantissa. I'm trying to remember exactly what this is. It would be possible to compress a float, but the amount of quantizing would make it unusable. Here's the thing, in our case, I don't think this would be that bad, honestly. And it's also a question of, like, we can quantize it when we pack it into the texture, but then in the shader we can sort of unquantize it, right? We could lerp. Ooh. Spot on, spot on. Yeah, I don't care about negative values as well. Here's one thing with how we use the variables right now, or the values. We actually use them as, we assume that they are only between 0 and 1. So that might make our case a little bit different. I don't know if it's for the better or the worse. We'll see. Yeah, I don't care about data loss that much. So it would be more like, right now with my current understanding, it would be more like if we represent a value between 0 and 1 with a float, 8 bits of a float. So then I get the steps, the precision we can express with that will go down. So it will just make the step between the different sizes longer, right? If that makes any sense. Yeah, same here. Precision as high as possible. Negative values are not important. Great. I adapted the algo of Yelpic. It's C# for Unity 3D. Okay, so pack vector2 input int precision. That seems easy enough to do, I think. This actually seems incredibly good. Yeah, I want to do some tests of my own with this one. Pack 4 bytes in a float. Yeah, the more data I can pack into one float, the better, honestly. And okay, a crude example. So if we say that we pack, we have the width of the grass. So initially, if we represent the data with the maximum amounts of bits, let's say for instance that we can have 10 different width values. So what is it? 0, 0.1 up to 0.9. And so this is a crude example. If we halve the number of bits, or like if we reduce the number of bits in such a way that we get a precision that is just half of that, so 0, 0.2, 0.4 and so on, then I'm okay with that. The only thing is that like the variation between grass straws will be a bit more quantized. And like if we take this example for instance, like I don't see, it wouldn't really be visible, I don't think. But let's see. Love this. The question is, Unity pack floats into one float. Do we have some default library functions for this or API? In the like, probably not. So we're gonna extend our math extension method and we're gonna implement functions like this. So yeah. And this is the exact same thing as this one, right? Okay, so if you want to extend this to work with more, if you want to, like, the more values you want to pack into one float, the more times you multiply by precision. Seems pretty damn straightforward, honestly. Pretending that I'm using integer types. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Depends on the floats, maybe. Yeah, that is also a question, but let's see here. So the flow would look something like the player runs around, he or she has his marker, his or her marker on the ground. We already have the logic for getting the affected vertices or the affected pixels. And then we would use a shader. I think we're gonna go with a blit approach to alter these textures as well. Yeah, that worked well with the height map change. So we're gonna do both the... Eventually we're going to do both the packing and unpacking on the GPU side. And since we do a lot of... Yeah, I think like the unpacking and packing is... The cost of it is going to be diminished when you compare it to the actual time sending data from the CPU to the GPU, and more specifically the other way around. But yeah, probably want to read this one as well later on, but let's see here. So this person wants to pack it. Not entirely sure I understand this. Wouldn't this one be 8 bits per channel? That depends. But yeah, okay, I want to try this. Because, okay, representing a float value of 8 bits with only 4 bits seems reasonable, but representing it by less, I don't know. So 4 bits is okay. So we can pack 2 values into one channel. I think I would be happy with that. Interesting stuff. Let's see. Math extension. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so as it looks now, next week I'm gonna dive into altering the data texture for the terrain in additional ways, so not only height but also grass proportions. And we're gonna do it like similar we do with height, but first of all we're gonna play around with some packing and unpacking on the CPU, easier to debug, and then we're gonna move it on to the GPU. So yeah, hopefully we will have grass proportion painting done next week. Because unfortunately today I won't have more time to stream. I would love to continue, but I gotta run. So a shorter stream today, we'll be back next week. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. And Derek, thank you once again for the donation. Much love. Boo indeed, Meister K. But have a great weekend, everybody, and see you next week. Peace.